So a little while ago I brought you guys a video about Bastions, the new massive ship that was just added to Planetside 2, and I told you a bit about how it could change the way the game's played and how it might rejuvenate people's interest in the game Planetside 2. Hey guys, I'm Morphologist, and in this video we're going to do a bit of a retrospective, if it's not too early, about whether these things have actually made an impact. I'll touch on how difficult it is to earn an actual Bastion yourself, as well as how they play in a given game, and then how the community has received it from my perspective, and if it has indeed impacted the population. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the glorious B-roll as we journey back to Araxis. So one of the things I was kind of worried about was how easy it was going to be to earn one of these things, or rather how hard it might be. So just quick as a refresher, each and every base on each map now represents a certain amount of resources per minute. Say for example the one we're on right now will tick you 5 of the green resource per minute. And so if you end up taking this base by being number 1 on the scoreboard with your outfit will earn in its inventory 5 per minute for as long as that base is held. Now, you're probably figuring by now, and as you should, that if there are a lot of people at a base, you are less likely to be the majority holder of said base, and therefore you won't be able to get on top. And that's basically what happens in these big fights. If you are a small outfit and you go and fight in one of these big massive battles like this, then it's not likely that you're going to be on top unless you guys are out-fragging everybody else. So the way to get around this, I discovered, is to actually look around the map for places that have smaller fights, and to take my smaller outfit to go fight there. Now, because only a few places on the map have Cynthium and Polystellarite, which are the more rare resources, it might be harder, like I said, for a small outfit to be able to get the resources necessary to build what they want. Luckily, they thought of that, and here in the new Sanctuary, you can come and trade some of the less rare resources for the more rare resources to be able to get what you need. But I did say there was another caveat to this. And that's how it actually plays once you get yourself that big bad Bastion onto the battlefield. One thing that will inevitably happen if you pull a Bastion as an outfit is that everybody on the 2 other factions is going to come after you if they're in ESF. Which means you better have a good defense and be coordinating with the rest of your faction to make sure that you don't waste that Bastion altogether. Here you can see that this NC Bastion got caught out in the open by itself against the Vanu and almost was destroyed. Luckily, it was able to get out of there just in time before it completely lost all of its health, and just as a reminder, you can't repair Bastions. As soon as they lose their health pool, that's it, that's where they'll be at, and they're that much closer to exploding and all that hard work going down the drain. This one ended up having to retreat back to space, which is a cool feature that they added in after the PTU that they had, which means that you can, in essence, save your Bastion if you're able to get to safety. So why the risk then? Well, Bastions can make a huge difference on the battlefield, and that's what we're going to talk about next. If you're able to successfully pull a Bastion with your faction and coordinate together with them, you can absolutely devastate everything on the ground. Its batteries can continue to fire without using resources, which means they are constantly pummeling the ground forces and armor alike. It has drastically changed the way that ground battles can be fought. Say for example you're stuck in a locked battle of around 100 versus 100 players at a given point on the map. If a Bastion arrives overhead for one of the factions, it can completely turn the tide of that battle in just a few minutes, meaning that those Zerg fights can now be broken up pretty successfully by these things, and I for one am very happy for that. I am so sick of being stuck at, say, biolabs for hours on end for an entire alert where there's so much other cool places to fight on a given continent. But the fight alongside the Bastion in the air is just as fun as it could be on the ground if you're being supported by one. It's really not that fun to be destroyed by one, let's be honest here. When it comes along, it just devastates everything in its path. It can be a lot of fun because you gotta coordinate a lot with your outfit and the rest of the faction, like I said, and I've seen some really impressive stuff. Sorry I don't have some footage of it, I sadly wasn't recording at the time, of outfits actually coordinating a bunch of galaxies, repair galaxies, to continually repair their ESS and defense, making it completely invulnerable, that entire Bastion. So it just flies around the map and destroys everything on the ground. Now, keep in mind that this isn't necessarily OP because it does require a huge amount of coordination in the air, and it is inevitably, defeatable if you've got a coordinated enough opposition. But for that fight, it can be a heck of a lot of fun. But getting destroyed by Bastion can be kind of old if you're an underpopulated faction. We've all been there, having our faction just be the weakest at that time. Well, you'll be relieved to know that because Bastions are so expensive to build and take so much time and effort to get in the air, that you're not going to see them super often, especially in the off hours. They're really only going to show up when those fights reach their climax and an outfit thinks it's necessary to bring one to the field. So that makes them even more special when you do see one or when you're able to pull one yourself. It is really a big event, an alert on top of an alert that everybody's got to pay attention to because of just how much of an impact it can make. I also had a lot of fun coordinating with my smaller outfit to try to go help take one down, which was really satisfying. So what do people think of it? Well, in my experience, people seem to really like the addition of the Bastion. It's reinvigorated the community, which answers my final question I posed at the beginning of the video. Does it, in retrospect, actually help the game by bringing more players back? Well, initially, of course, it would do that. People would be interested to try something new, but several weeks on now, after the hype has died down a bit, people are still playing. I regularly see multiple continents open, which is not something I've seen for quite some time now in Planetside as I've hopped onto it from time to time in these past few years. Which means, yes, indeed, there are a lot of people back in Planetside 2 playing, bringing us those massive battles of old that got us into the game in the first place. Sadly, it's not going to bring everybody back. It is ultimately not a new game, and people have moved on. But really, guys, if you used to play, or maybe you've never played before, give it another chance. It really is a lot of fun. And no, this isn't a paid promotion. The devs did not ask me to make this. I really wanted to do a video like this on it because it's how I started my channel, as I've said before, I think in another video. And so it's got a special place in my heart. I will continue to play it, and I hope you guys will join me over on the Connery server on TR. You can find our outfit called Zero AC by searching outfits in the outfits search bar. Go ahead and send us an invite in, we'll get you on in, and we'll help you earn those certs faster than ever so you can upgrade your kit to be the best soldier possible. So that's it, guys. Back to my regularly scheduled typical content on Star Citizen. I hope you enjoyed this off video, and I hope to see you on Araxis.